hope you are fine. Today again we are here with another video. If you remember the last time we talked about the present perfect simple. Look at here. I'm going, by the way, this is our Think A2 book and this is our application. You know, everybody knows about it. If you remember the last time we talked about present perfect simple. What is present perfect simple? If you remember, we talked about that. Present perfect simple is a tense in English that something started in the past but continued up to now. Means it's not something that's finished. It's not like past simple. It's something that started in the past and the result is continued up to this time, up to now. For example, I have been in Turkey since 2017. What does it mean? It means that, okay, on 2017, I came to Turkey, but still now I live here. Means it's not something that finished. So, for something that started in the past and continued up to now, we use present perfect simple. And you know that for present perfect simple, we use have or has plus past participle form of the verb. What is past participle form of the verb? Not second. For example, for have, okay? For have verb, we said that what is the past simple form of the have? It's had. And what is the past participle form of it? Again, had. Or for go, when, gone. For example, whatever. What are the other verbs? For example, for see, saw, seen. For go, I told you, went, gone. For do, did, done. We did it the last time. Now we are going to go to the next page. Which page? Page 113. Which page 113, and I'm going to explain present perfect with ever and never. Sometimes in some sentences we can use ever and never with present perfect simple also. For example, I have never eaten Chinese food. What does it mean? Means from past, I don't know, from the time that I was child until now, means until this time that I'm talking, I have never tried Chinese food. I have never eaten Chinese food. But maybe, for example, in future, maybe 2 days later, 3 days later, I'm going to eat it again. So look at here, we are going to use ever and never. But when we are going to use it? When we use the present perfect to talk about experiences, and we want to say at no time in my life. At no time means, what does it mean? It's obvious. Yes, it means never. Means something that I have never tried it. Look at here. At no time in my life, we use the word never. At any time in your life, we use the word ever. At any time. For example, I said, have you ever been in Spain? Have you ever been in Spain? Means in your life, from the time that you were born until now, have you ever been there? Have you ever gone there? We use ever for it. At any time means any time. Means yesterday, means 10 days ago, for example, 10 years ago. With any time in your life, at no time in my life means never, at no time. The words ever and never usually come between have and the past participle. I have never eaten this food. I have never gone to cinema. Have you ever, for example, look at here, all the time, ever and never, all the time, I can say usually, means sometimes, comes between have and the past participle. So, let's do some exercises about it. Complete the mini dialogue with the words in the list. Been, yes, eaten, have, never, no, ever, played. And you know that eaten, for example, is past participle form of eat. Been is past participle form of be. And played also, past participle form of played. Play is regular verb. Because of that, the past simple and past participle, both of them are same. Played, played, played. Have you, what do you think, watched a silent film? Which one we can use? Have you ever? Yes, have you ever watched a silent film? Between ever came between have and our past participle form of the verb. Yes, I have. Because our question started with have, look at here, this is important. Because here started with have, we say yes, I have. And for long, for example, completed answer, you can say yes, I have watched, for example, since 2016. Or I have watched this movie, for example, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Have you ever to the Olympic Games? Which one we can use here? Have you ever been to the Olympic Games? Have you ever been? For example, somebody say, yes, I have been there last summer. I have been there 4 years ago. Or I have never been at any Olympic Games. Yes, it's answer. It's due to your experience. If you are talking about your experiences, if you want to answer about this on your own experiences, not that just this dialogue, you can use all of them. So, have you ever been to the Olympic Games? No, I have never been to them. Why here we use no? Because here it said I have never been to them. So, here we use no for it. Have you ever played tennis? Because tennis is a game. Yes, it's a kind of game. So for that, you know that we are going to use played. Have you ever played tennis? Here it's, look at here, it shows that our answer is positive. Yes, not negative. Yes, I have. Have you ever eaten a really hot curry? Have you ever eaten a really hot curry? What about you? Do you like it really chili or hot curry? Hot, you mean that means acı, yes, hot, chili. Have you ever eaten a really hot curry? No, I never tried curry. I have never tried. Why? Here never used because again here started with no and it shows that our sentence is going to be negative, not positive. So I hope that it's really easy. Everybody understand it. And we have also here two sentences. I have never eaten snake. Have you ever? And something I want to tell you, mostly in question forms of these sentences, we are using ever in question form of the sentences, and in normal sentences, negative form, use never. So question forms ever, negative forms never. So come here, what we have here. Here functions talking about life experiences. Work in pairs, ask and answer the question. So we are not in the class, okay, but you are at home. Again, at home you can do this exercise. For example, with your brother, with your sister, with your friends, call them. You are at home, you are bored, now I understand. So that's a good exercise. You can call your friends and start speak English, talk English to improve it, not forget the English. So it's a good experience for you also. Here we have ever see a snake. Look at the example. Have you ever seen a snake? Please pay attention. Here we use past participle, means third form of it. Yes. Have you ever seen a snake? Yes, I have. It was a kitten at the zoo. No, I haven't. Or no, I have never seen any snake. Another one. I will do it for you. Then you can make question with your friends, for example. Have you ever eaten something horrible? What is horrible? Something that's disgusting, not good taste, doesn't have any good taste. Have you ever eaten something horrible? Let me think a little. No, I've never eaten something horrible because I'm afraid to try new foods. I'm afraid trying new foods. I don't like to try new foods. Or you can say yes. Once when I was in China, for example, I tried something horrible, and after that I'm not going to taste or to try anything horrible, any other foods. Or have you ever been on television? For example, one of your friends came from another country. She or he wanted to know, have you ever been on television, for example, for a program, for something special, some programs, some music program, whatever. Have you ever been on television? Yes, once when I was 5 years old, I was in television for an advertisement, for example. Or no, I've never been on television. So by this, for example, structure, yes, I have done, for example, this, or no, I've never do it, or no, I haven't. You can make question with these sentences and answer to it. You can answer to yourself, for example, write question, make question, answer to yourself, or you can try it with another person, with your brother, sister, I don't know, friend, whoever you want. So let's go to the next page. What we have the reading part now. We are not going to do it reading part. So here we have another thing. Look at here. Present perfect, vice versa, past simple. What is it? We talked about present perfect simple, yes? Present perfect simple is a tense that started in the past and continued up to now. Yes, something that continued up to now. It's not finished. What is past simple, by the way? Past simple is something that started in the past and finished at that time. For example, I read this book last night. What does it mean? It means it's totally finished. I'm not going to read it again, or it's finished, this book. Maybe I'm going to read another book. But when I say I have read this book since last week, means last week I started reading this book, and till now, till this time that I'm talking, it's not finished. I'm going to continue it again. So look at here, we are in the rule part. Look at here, I'm going to make it bigger for you to see it better. And for the students who have this book, who have Think B2 book, Think A2 book, you can open it. We are in page, I don't know, 113 or 114, unit 12. You can check it from there. Or for the other students who don't have, there is no problem. You can check it from here. You can pause the video, again listen it, again watch it, and take notes in your notebook. Make notes and really understand it very well. I hope that it's going to be useful for you. So let's continue. Use the which one? Past simple or present perfect simple to talk about situation or actions at a particular time in the past. Which one? And number 2, use the to talk about situation or actions in the past when we don't say when they happen. So look at here. First one is here. First one is past simple to talk about situation or actions at a particular time in the past. For example, when I said that I read this book last night, I mentioned the time, yes, specific time, particular time. I read this book last night and it's finished, yes. But when we are talking about, look at here, this answer, number 2's answer is present perfect. When we say present perfect simple, it means that some situations that happened in the past, but the result is continuing up to now. Or we don't know the specific time that this happened. With some examples, you are going to understand it better. Don't worry and wait here. So, come here. Complete the things Fiona said in the article. It's about the last page reading part, but we can do it. Film stars, politicians, you know, lots of famous people. What we are going to do? I have had film stars, politicians, you know, lots of famous people. Because we don't know here that when it started or what happened. But until now, I have had film stars. Or maybe in the future also I'm going to have. A year ago, look at here, we have specific time here. A year ago, a really famous actor got in my taxi. You know that the past simple form of get is got and then gotten for past participle. So, because here it mentions a specific time, we use a year ago, a really famous actor got in my taxi. People, all kinds of things. People have left all kinds of things. Don't worry that you don't understand these verbs. These verbs came from the article from the last page. Just, it's no problem if you can't fill this part. Just I want to tell you what's the difference between past simple and present perfect simple, and we will do also one part of our workbook, don't worry. So people have left all kinds of things. Here there is no specific time, yes, it doesn't mention, so because of that we use present perfect. One time a passenger a pair of false teeth. One time a passenger left a pair of false teeth. Yes, left it. Why? Because it takes one time, we mentioned the time, we use past simple for it. And people have asked me to do some strange job. Have asked me here, we don't know when, yes? Time is not mentioned, we don't know the exact time. So we use present perfect simple. Once a doctor stopped me outside a hospital and asked me to take a skeleton to another hospital. Once a doctor stopped me, past simple, hospital, and asked me to take it. Because here we mentioned the time, we use the past simple. Don't worry, you will understand it better. Let's go to our workbook. So, our workbook unit 12. So, where is unit 12? Here, the grammar part. So, which one is better to do? Let's go here. Present perfect simple with ever and never. Okay, look at here. We are going to make questions, yes? You ever or won't have competition. We are going to make sentences. Here we have ever and never. Just you want to practice. Have you ever won a competition? Have you ever won a competition? Look at here, ever came between have and our past participle form of the verb. So, have you ever won a competition? No, I have never won anything. No, I have never won anything. Or here, what are we going to do? This is not question form, yes, this is normal. Look at here. Has she ever, sorry, this is also question form, sorry. Has she ever been to New York? Look at here, has, and you know that I told you for question forms, normally we are going to have ever between the sentences. Has she ever been to New York? Why has? Because we are talking about she. She is third person. For he, she, it, we are going to use has. And the USA she's to be. No, she's never been to USA. Maybe somebody asks that. Look at here, the question is here. Has she ever been to New York? The answer is here. No, she's never been to the USA. So, have you ever eaten Japanese food? Again, this is the question form. Because of that, we have ever here. Have and here. Ever and past participle form of the verb. Have you ever eaten Japanese food? Here we have no. Yes? No and never. It shows that our question is negative. No, I've never been to a Japanese restaurant. So, like this, we can make questions. So, let's come here do another example also. Present perfect, vice versa, past simple. To use it, complete the conversation, use the present perfect or past simple form of the verb. So, look at here. Let's go and eat some Indian food. But I have never eaten Indian food. Look at here. We have never, we have eat. But you know that in present, because how we understand that we should use present perfect simple or past simple? Because here we have never and eat. Never and eat. So this never shows that this is present perfect simple. Yes, not past simple. I have never eaten Indian food, but maybe in the future I will do it. No, you are wrong. You last week. Look at here, we have specific time here. Last week. Let's make it bigger for you. So when we have specific times, it means that our sentences should be past simple. So you run, you ate. Yes, you ate Indian food at my house last week. Really? Oh yes, you look at made a curry. I remember now because we talked about last week that she ate that Indian food. So here again we use past simple because we are talking about that time. My parents to lots of places around the world. What do you think? Here we are going to use have traveled. Why? Because we said lots of places around the world, but it's not finished. Yes, maybe my parents are going to visit another country. So we use have plus past participle form of the verb. So here, have they visited China? Have they visited China? Oh yes, they went to Beijing 2 years ago. They went to Beijing 2 years ago. So, why here we use when? Because again we have specific time, 2 years ago. They loved it there. Yes, because it's continuous. It's the sentence continue after this one. We use again past simple. They are lucky. I have always wanted to go to China. When we have always and here our verb, it means that something that I wanted to do from the past, but until now I didn't do. Maybe in future I'm going to do. So I have always wanted, but I again never. It shows that we are going to use present perfect simple again. But I have never had the chance. So what do you think about it? Was that difficult or was that easy? I think that if you practice a little, if you practice some other exercises with your friends, with your family members, or you can also just, for example, stop the video, look at the answer, look at the questions without answers, try to write your answers, then check it, okay? By this way you are going to understand. Once again, I'm going to tell you the difference between present perfect simple and past simple. Present perfect simple is something that we use have or has plus past participle form of the verb for the situation that if the time is not mentioned, the exact time, and something happened in the past, but the result is continue up to now. But past simple is something that the exact time is mentioned and it's finished. I ate this food last night. Last night is finished, yes? So I use past simple here. But then I say, I have never tried this food, means from the past, I don't know, in my life from the past, but up to this point, I have never tried. But maybe in the future, I will try, for example, Japanese food. So this is the difference between present perfect simple and past simple. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Now I'm going to finish it here. Please try it again. And just we miss you. I hope that everybody is going to be fine. Thank you for watching and listening this video.